So my name is Zora Lautenbarker, and I'm the news editor for the budget. And today we are going to be doing a Zoom conference with our counselors. And we just have a few questions for them about how this school year is going to kind of come to a close and how COVID will affect our continuous learning. So we would like to welcome Miss Hare and Miss Stussie, who are volunteering their time to come talk to us about this. So our first question is, how do LHS students go about dropping classes, and is that an option?
Correct me if I'm wrong, we are not dropping classes. You have a class that you're enrolled in right now. It's going to show up on your transcript.
Mm-hmm.
Your third quarter grade shows up on the transcript. If you want that grade to be higher, you need to work with your teacher after April 10th, as you go into the fourth quarter, to improve the grade. The grade can't get lower in the fourth quarter, but it could go up. So something will show up on your transcript. You can't just drop a class.
What message should students have about engaging in their classes?
You want it?
We have been encouraging kids to stay engaged just so they can still feel like they're Lawrence High School. Especially with the underclassmen, I think it's a really long break to go from February all the way to August with no education or peer or social engagement. Part of the mental health aspect of it is just staying connected. And I think it's really easy for a lot of kids to go sit in their bedrooms and be, socially isolated and have no anybody. And that's really harmful. From an educational standpoint, even though the grade might not reflect learning, there is still learning going on. And hopefully by continuing through the fourth quarter, you'll be more prepared for the next year, especially with classes that are sequential.
And I would comment that as you guys progress into college, a lot of your classes are going to be on anyway. You will the Zoom format, you'll get used to replying on threads to all of your peers. So this is just kind of a taste of what life might look like in a few years anyway. So getting used to the online option, it's a good time to practice it.
And then how should students pace the classroom? How should students pace the classroom teachers are giving them? So like, how do we manage our time?
I would say just because everybody has their own personal schedule and kind of are planning ahead, allotting time to different classes. I think that would be key for me, to kind of plan ahead and know when I was going to do things so I didn't procrastinate and just have to do it all as a procrastinator would before it was due.
And I think part of it is coming from a parent perspective with Noah and looking at his classes. Every teacher is doing it in a different format. So some classes are strictly Zoom time meeting, and other classes, some teachers are posting all the work and basically saying, do the work and send it in when you're done. So I think it takes a lot of self-discipline and skill that a lot of students are going to have to work on. The nice thing is I think your teachers are going to allow a lot of grace and time to get it figured out. I think every student has to figure out individually how long each class they're taking is, what kind of time commitment you're looking at.
And some seniors are worried about local scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
How will those be awarded?
We don't know how they will be awarded yet. I mean, we hope that hopefully, maybe this will pass and by summertime we can still do a ceremony, but if not, the money will still be distributed some way. It may be a mail that comes that says congratulations, or it might be a virtual ceremony. All of that hasn't really been determined yet, but that money is still there and people are still planning to award that money, so we'll get that out to kids.
Okay, so what do your jobs look like right now, and how can we reach out to you?
So I would say that mine feels a little bit more structured. I have 2 kids of my own, plus my husband is working here. So I've found that Zooming in the morning for me isn't the best, right? 4 people Zooming at one time is crazy. So I tend to do more of my administrative stuff and meeting with some of my peers during the morning, and then I've set up afternoon time for students. I have a Google Doc where they can request time that they want to Zoom, and then I'll send them a Zoom code. So I'm trying to reserve my afternoons if kids just want to do a quick Zoom session.
I am using my handy dandy planner and just writing stuff down. I haven't really set specific times. I've just tried to make myself available whenever needed. So I might have a Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock, and then I might have another one at 3:15.
And what is the administration or counselor class in Google Classroom?
We don't have a Google Classroom.
So I think Miss Brown had one, and then I made one for my seniors. I don't know if Miss Book had one. I just made one because I wanted to have that Google Doc available to kids. So I sent all the seniors A through E just an invite to the Google Classroom. And there's just like a, hey, welcome to your senior year. If you want to meet with me, just select this form. And then I think I have 3 handouts in there. One that shows the daily schedule, one that shows resources in the community, and then I put in the can I drop a class, where I kind of paraphrased what that is and what that is not. So, I mean, I tried just different ways to work out, and that seemed easiest.
I've just been sending emails with that, basically the kind of the same information. Like, let me know if you need a meeting. Here's the info.
And then juniors are worried about the ACT and the SAT and taking the test to prep for college. Do you have any idea like what their options will look like?
I think that's valid. If there is a good time to be isolated, I think now is probably the good time, because colleges will accept those scores all the way up through December of the senior year. So hopefully by July test date, at least as far as the ACT goes, hopefully some places will be giving that again. I would imagine if this continues for very long, there might be some online options. I know that ACT already has an online way to give the test. So I don't know if they will look at trying to send that out individually. I think what they're most worried about is test integrity. If they send out links and let people take them online on their own, then they can't verify that that's the person that actually took the test. So if they can figure out some way to fix that issue, the test is one that can be taken online. My hope would be that, again, though, by July, when those test dates roll around again, the juniors to be seniors will still have a lot of time to get opportunities to take the test before December. I've also had a couple of email from colleges that for the first time ever, they are going to a no test admit system. And I think that might be rare because most colleges use those tests for scholarship purposes, but we might see more and more colleges go no test for admit purposes.
And then what are the mental health supports for students right now, and how can students access those?
Well, the counselor sent an email to every student and parent that we had listed in Power School, advising them to go ahead and email their counselors if they have concerns, and to send times if they would like a Zoom meeting. As teachers are becoming aware of students having issues, they've been emailing the mental health team, and we've been reaching out to those students individually. Either counselors or social workers have been making contact. We've also published a list of community support.
So that's all our questions. So now I'm going to open it up if any other staffers have any questions to ask you guys.
Yeah, so Ms. Tholen and I were just talking about how so many schools have a May 1st deadline for putting a deposit down. And I guess I'm just asking if you have any maybe resources or ideas for LHS students that like are in a different financial spot right now because of this, or like are dealing with more uncertainty.
Well, it just so happens that we're dealing with that very same situation in the Stussie house, with the senior trying to make a decision by May 1st with some different offers on the table. He got an email from one of his college choices today that students could reach out to the financial aid office in the different schools. Given the circumstances, financial situation has changed for a lot of families. So that has a direct impact on available financial aid in some schools. So the advice that he received from one of his colleges was to reach out directly to the financial aid office at the college to see what options they might have available for students in situations like I said, that have been impacted by all this mess.
Can I throw this one out to you? What do you see as your biggest challenges right now in terms of helping kids get through the rest of the year?
I would say availability. Kids just can't walk by. They just can't walk in. It's just that there's this barrier of getting to kids and setting up appointments, and we're eager to meet with them. It's just letting them know we're here and having them want to meet with us, I guess.
I second that.
Thank you so much for coming and speaking to us. It was so nice to have you.
That is awesome.